And welcome to WrestleCulture. This one right here goes out to all the wrestling journos. Supposed wrestling journos. Yeah, go like this. I'm sorry, journalists. I am for real. Never meant to make Dave Meltzer cry. I called Punk's return a trillion times. You guys are all fired. There's only me. Why would anybody trust you now? I'm the only one with the know-how. One more time. I'm sorry, journalists. I am for real. Never meant to make Dave Meltzer cry. I called Punk's return a trillion times. I'm Adam Wilborn from WrestleCulture, joined by...
Sure? And I'll see you later.
I'm Chas Finster from WrestleCulture, joined by Adam Nicholas and Michael Hamflett from WrestleCulture to discuss how right I was.
Do we even need to be here?
No, we don't.
You could just leave him and he'd be fine by himself.
This is what I was waiting for. And first, the liars. He pulls out this long list that just rolls onto the floor.
But before we get into all that, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WrestleCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we review Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a mega quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. But as I said, joined by Nicholas and Hamflett live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone in the chat, by the way. I will get to your comments and questions in due course. But yeah, CM Punk returned at Survivor Series, Michael Hamflett.
And it's not about him.
And it's not about him.
I gave it a good 30 seconds.
You did, yeah. You really let the pop, maybe of certainly the wrestling decade for me, sink in before screaming at the internet that they should have listened to you. It was amazing. Thanks to Matt Rains, and I'll never say that again. A lot of people saw our reaction if they weren't watching live the next day. It was everything I think I could have hoped for and more. And then the Raw follow-up was a bit less than that. So
let it play out.
Well, and I absolutely am. WWE, we talked about this on the Raw review, which you can still watch on YouTube. WWE is a let it play out company more now than it probably has been in the last 23 years. So this is a good time for someone like Punk to be coming back in. And I don't know, I feel like the longer we analyse Punk, the further away we get from your self-aggrandising. Nicholas?
Talk me through your experience of this.
No nuts. Very, very good. My experience of this, well, unfortunately, whether I want to have my own personal experience or not, it was inexplicably and undeniably tied to you, as always, because I woke up that morning and I knew you guys had been doing the stream. I actually wasn't like convinced. Well, no, that's not true. I jumped on your boat. Solidarity and all that. If one of us is going down, we all go down. All right, ladies. Oi. However, I thought I'll check because moreover, Punk's return would have been nice, but I wanted you two to have it because you were coming in for the stream, and I was like, but it probably didn't happen. Flicked it on. Literally, the first thumbnail obviously comes up. I don't even think I had to Google YouTube WWE. I just did it, and there was Punk's face, and I literally was like, "Holy shit, it happened!" And I started laughing out loud like a maniac. Yeah. Flicked it on, watched the whole thing, and I was like, "Hey, this is weird. I just want to look at it. I want to look at it forever and just keep watching it on a loop as he comes back through. Because even though you hear his music, you're still like, yeah, I need to see him.
Yeah, I won't believe it until I see it.
I have this thing about players who sign for Newcastle United. Maybe not so much these days, but when I used to see the thing where like, they've signed for your club, like, not until they're on that pitch. Not until they're on that pitch in the kit and they're kicking a ball have they done that. And then he comes down and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, even more excited because I was like, I need to see what happened last night with these two. Straight on, there they are. I have never, and I told you this, and I'll tell all of you this, I have never heard you dry heave like that. Like, I watched the pop, and then it's just you sitting there going, I was like, he's gonna pass out.
The only thing I can compare it to is when we were at the ROH show, and the Young Bucks slid in after the FTR Briscoes
Still
match.
riding the high of the match, I remember the feeling, and now people have seen it, I guess, of the first dance. And that's the most honest comparison I can make, whereas I understand why people wouldn't put those two on the same level. I remember like my whole body shaking when he was coming out, kind of knowing it was happening, rather than this one where I didn't listen to you and thought, well, it probably wouldn't. And that's pretty much the same thing both times. I can understand why people didn't think that the two could possibly compare, but my emotional sort of memory of both will now be the same.
I think that the first dance obviously has it being the first return, fair enough. But this is, it's back to WWE.
It's the unthinkable, isn't it?
It's the one that, the unthinkable.
Yeah.
The turning up in AEW was like, does he actually want to do it?
Yeah.
Is he interested? This one is, it just shouldn't happen.
He's got nothing to get over to go to AEW initially,
And based on the history, it's like everything and I know wrestling's wrestling. You can time is time. You'll always end up getting over stuff eventually if you really want to. But he just like, if you put the list out of all the things between himself and them, it seemed rather unsurmountable.
Oh, God, like you're seeing the thumbnail. Like, obviously, so our sort of lived in the moment experience was just that a million emotions all at once, the shock, the surprise, the awe of it all. If I'd have seen that thumbnail first to say WWE, I'd have assumed it to be one of those really well-made photoshops where it's like, John Cena beats Brock Lesnar with an axe. And it's like, well, I'm going to have to click now. I'd have thought somebody's made a Punk one and put the Survivor Series logo in the corner or something. What have they done then? How is it? And then you click it and it's a 2K video that somebody's made. Like, I still wouldn't, I'd have needed that to get over the shock of seeing the thumbnail followed by the shock of the moment itself.
It's just insane. And then obviously, the divisive, I'll say, Raw promo. I'm going to let it play out at least until next week. And that kind of simmered things down a little bit. And then today we come in and they're like, well, bad news, he might not be working the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Good news is he might be working Stone Cold Steve Austin. What?
Well, I just barely kind of come round from Sunday and then I see that. Punk's not daft as well, by the way. I have my suspicions and they're not informed by anything, just instincts, I guess. Like
and being the number one Punk fan, obviously.
Well, indeed.
That does help.
I'm not saying he will have had something directly to do with that story getting out, but I don't think he'll have minded it coming around. And I'm assuming that there's probably too much respect for Steve Austin for there to not at least be some truth to it. Our conversation,
yes,
even if just a speculative one or a text, even be great to see you at Mania, winky face, and then Austin just does the thumb up because he's not really sure what he wants. The non-committal reply sort of thing. They should absolutely, the Punk camp, as they were called a lot during his tumultuous AEW run, the Punk camp should absolutely be letting these things leak or letting them get out there. Let people get excited. Like the cynicism around this run, and I've got a bet with Andy Murray that he won't even make it to WrestleMania, such as like...
It's not an unfair...
No, this is it.
That's not even necessarily through firing. It could just be through injury.
Yeah, like such as the recent history of CM Punk. The cynicism around this run is that, well, the first feud is where it goes wrong, or the first blow up backstage or anything like that. It is my hardened belief that the motivations of spite and money are going to collide to make this man the best behaved version of himself that he's been, probably in over a decade.
Bit of a baptism of fire as well on Raw, because he turns up to the first Raw and they go, Triple H isn't here.
Yeah.
He's off doing TV deal stuff with Nick Khan, so Bruce is in charge, one would assume. And then they go, everything's kind of run a bit long, Phil, so if you can just keep it nice and tight.
It sounds like, I didn't watch it, obviously, because I have other things to do, like anything. But you did. Obviously, you were there with your cereal and with your energy. And, like, I imagine from what you had told me, that seems like it was based on recent weeks, a less than like up to the usual standard Raw in terms of like, how is he getting 5 minutes at the end is the one thing. And then also, not unfair to say, and I'm with you in this camp, by the way, the whole, I genuinely don't believe it's underwhelming by accident, but I do think maybe you've chosen to do the underwhelming promo incorrectly.
You said it right on Raw. Sorry, you said it right on Raw because he said, if it is an angle, which I was saying it was, and that's the week one promo, you should have had a week zero promo.
Yeah, almost. I agree. No, that's what I think so. I think this story could be great. Nobody did a better story than, all right, maybe outside of some of my other favourites, and we'll not mention them while we're talking about your pal. But like, Old Man Punk was one of my favourite things that he did in AEW because it was, and it had more legs. I still stand by that. It had more legs to do because it's a great way for him to get back into it.
Punk didn't have
Shame that he didn't have him, yeah.
But
Between him and Adam Cole, diving off stage, man. When are they going to learn? So I just have to address this as well because I keep looking at you and I'm like, this should be weird. Like, why do I think that you should keep this getup and the mustache? And also, at the same time, for anyone who doesn't understand what's going on, maybe you should probably explain this.
Yeah, I'm Chas Finster. I am Chucky's dad from Rugrats because I promised if I hit £500 raised for Movember this year, then I'll wear what I usually wear on the weekends. So
it is too normal.
It's like genuinely.
I don't need these, by the way. There's no frames in there. Oh, it looks even weirder.
That's too much now. Put them back on. See, I just think this is a look that you could do as like a hipster,
like those people that get interviewed at Coachella by somebody that's made up some band names, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to catch them later on."
You are literally a funny hat away from being Nardwar. You know, the guy who does the interviews like that. You could be him.
Do I wear this for Mania next year?
I think that's a version of this that works. I don't know why it works. It shouldn't work.
It does.
The purple glasses are really doing it for us.
I've said that I'm a big fan of the ostentatious frames.
It is. There's something about this. If you get it right, if you got like if you got some purple straps and maybe some gold, this could be a Maniac at the bit.
It's just like that final form, isn't it? Like tiny young Adam Wilborn watching kids television, sees Timmy Mallet, becomes an adult, gradually morphs into the sort of the second generation.
It's like somebody's like, like when Edge, before he left WWE, he had bought himself all them suits. And then didn't really get to use them. He's probably going to find a way to use them over the course of just. I like this idea that you could have this and you could just have multiple different colour palettes of it. And that could be your gimmick every day, and you keep the mustache as well, unfortunately.
Yes, like so the shirt braces and bow tie colour.
It's that look. It's like the Cody Rhodes. This is the style of it, but the palette changes. The CM Punk chunks to change. I think you could do this.
Like you could have it's like white elements for WrestleMania weekend.
It's YouTube. Nobody will ever know. Just say this. You've been doing it the whole time. Anna Louise, if you're watching, I am not sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
She won't be watching for much longer. This is getting shaved off, I think, the moment I get home. She'll be waiting with the clippers.
We're saying as well the hair. Like, if you look at the picture of Chas, he's obviously got like this sort of wild spikes everywhere. That's basically Wilborn's like 2005-ish night out hair. Like some bit over there, bit over there. Yeah. Like, it doesn't really look that much.
Far too much shock waves in there. Yeah. It's solid. It's just completely
it looks
solid.
Like it could go anywhere, but actually it's not going to move because it's like...
Right out of the Hollyoaks omnibus.
Yeah.
Like
there's quite a few people saying I look like Steve Urkel as well.
A lot of people look like Urkel.
Or you know Blippy?
I know Blippy all too well. That's it.
Blippy.
There's been one that's been nagging me all day, and it's Blippy. Yeah. You don't want to Google what he did before he was a kids entertainer. There is a video out there. Oh boy. Steezy Grossman he was called. You do want to look at it.
He's a gross man, is he?
Yeah, it was very gross. Good,
Speaking of changes that people have made.
Changes!
What do you make of Randy Orton's arms?
I mean, I'm going to let you have this one because this is basically... my God, why do you like wrestling? And, it's damaging to people's bodies doing all this stuff. What if it doesn't care?
Warrior, weren't you, as your first sort of exposure?
Big lads, bright colours, good promo storylines,
wrestling,
good matches.
Right on the floor. Wrestling's not even... like, if it was just EastEnders, but we're massive blokes, you'd be like, done, easy.
I don't quite mean that, but I do like winding Surgery Cup with it. Yeah. I will say that the over-reliance on that kind of like 3 3/4 to 4 star, slightly better than Punk Joe from Wembley, that quality of match in wrestling has become dull and dry. Whereas cool attire, amazing aesthetics, and big-ass jacked arms will never, ever go out of style, ever. Yeah. Randy Orton, comes out and is, as wide as that tiny tunnel because they'd sold all the seats. And I was like, I think I like Randy Orton now. It was 23 years and finally you've made me care. Brilliant. Really, really good.
He was already quite a big boy as well. Yeah. It wasn't like he was a little guy.
No. And he, there was the joke, wasn't there? I forget what it was he was talking about, but it was either somebody that wore long tights or at least covered his body up, and he was like, what the hell have I done? I've got to work my entire career in Speedos, basically.
I think he was talking about Seth, wasn't he? I'm sure.
Maybe,
he's had the tights on.
Keep the shield stuff on.
Top's great, but the legs, he doesn't have to do anything with his legs because it's always coming. Yeah.
He shout before he did the cock balls. Seen that clip 20 times. I still can't work out what he's saying. But yeah, great to have him back. But back to Punk, by the way.
Of course, I can't imagine it'll be the last time.
Always the ones you trust, isn't it? Brian Danielson sacking CM Punk. He was the one to do it. He said, funny. Let's sack CM. No,
this is funny.
I think it's something or nothing being made out of this, wasn't it? Danielson involved in Punk's firing, but. He was just, we talked about this on the news, he was just a voice in the room and arguably one of the most sensible.
He was the right guy to be there. Like, it's fun to call him a grass and a snitch because he's of the regal stock, and the idea of the Blackpool Combat Club being AEW's version of Wrestlers Court. It's sort of great, isn't it?
What did you call them?
The Blackpool Cop Club. Like,
Here's Steele coming up and grabbing like Brian, actually by the eye at this point, wouldn't he? You know, like in The Departed, where he gets his cast. And he's like, "Are you a rat?" He's like, "I'm not a rat." "Oh, that's a shame. I just gotta make it." He starts banging his cast on the thing. He's like, "I'm not a fucking rat!" Brian's like, he has smashed off the thing. His eyeballs falling out of his eyes. He's like, "I'm not a rat." Here's Steele's like, "I'm a dog. I'll bite you."
Can't hold him back.
It is unfortunate because this is very much like Brian is even. This goes to show Brian's a voice that even if he gets on with the people, he'll make the best call for wrestling. And at the time, probably for both parties, even though they probably didn't want to admit
Our wrestler, somebody that understands, like, they will actually probably see Punk's side of it. Be like, look,
of course,
yous are all lawyers, attorneys, whatever. Yeah. It's a kind of different kettle of fish being in there and being out there and how much you care for your spot. He's a good and rational voice. Yeah.
So he's learnt from the authority what's best for business.
There it is.
There it is. And but like, and that's a bit of fun.
Actually, do that again, but pull the.
What's
best? No, I just want you to do that, like best for business.
I do like the.
That's good. Go on. You kind of like that, don't you?
Kind of like.
It's like a little bit of a.
You suit doing that.
It's like Ilya Dragunov.
We need to set it so like either me or Sid can press a button for the like the when you do the Blackpool Cop Club. Just it worked. So like obviously Danielson's the main guy that sees things through. Like Moxley doesn't follow the rules, but he gets the job done. Yeah. Every now and then he needs to be calmed down. You know.
Oh, damn it, Mox, you're a loose cannon.
Claudio's a, "Sure, I get him, boss." Like the toughest, the hardest, a lot. And then Ute is that one that you actually want to see get a kicking by the bad guy. Yeah. Like if one cop's going to get it, it's going to be him. He's like, he's got his badge, but he doesn't really.
We got a warrant.
Yeah, like the community doesn't respect him. Like he's friends with the sheriff. Sheriff Moxley's got his back. So it's like, what you going to do about it?
He's definitely on the take as well somewhere.
Yeah, 100%.
Young and being corrupted
for rubbish stuff.
Else.
He goes round and he like sees that like nightclubs and restaurants pass the health and safety for free dinners and drinks. It's not. There's no credibility to it.
And then on the weekends he's a ticket warden.
Yes,
definitely.
He definitely is.
Brownie points. God, 1 minute over.
Willie Ute are writing you up.
1 minute over, screaming in your face. 1 minute over. Let's have a match for the pure title.
I've already started writing the ticket. There's nothing I can do now.
Hey, what's that? Is that a pen? Not paper. Sorry, mate. It's already started now. Be a waste of paper, that. You're killing trees.
Look, I was just trying to fix the BCC.
Wheeler Uter.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
You aware of what you did back there? No. What did I do wrong? Feeling pretty foolish now, aren't you? Oh, piss off. Let's get some of the comments. Thank you to everyone who's commented and donated and all that good stuff. Eric Vasquez, great first name, Eric, says, Buenas tardes, mi amigos. I'll be heading into work when this goes live. Hope you all have a blast. Cheers. Honk for Hamflett.
Thank you, Eric. The honk goes back a long time, doesn't it?
It does go back a long time.
It was a Friday afternoon where I was idly checking my notifications and seeing honk, 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 honk.
Oh, yeah,
we did that to him. That's funny.
Eric very kindly adapted a picture that Sidgwick put of me with a very square head to add a tray with a bowl of cereal on it for me giddily watching WWE, tuning in every morning. More fed, please.
More fed, please.
Can I have some sludge with my sludge?
Please, sir. Can I have some more?
See if I can find this for you in a second.
That's it, yeah, cereal everywhere.
Austin the Nater says, thoughts on Sasha Banks returning to save Bayley?
Oh my God! Stop! It cannot get any harder. Basically, if you get Sasha
in an excitement way,
in a love of the game,
in a creep,
in a love of a pro wrestling,
probably is being a creep, but also the love of pro wrestling,
the love of
game,
the love of sports entertainment. Let's be realistic.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, can you even imagine? Like Mercedes Moné has this amazing year, showing you that actually a bit of Wild West is probably good for her, but dropping back in right as they're about to babyface Bayley with Damage Couture, all the four horsewomen back together. Like Charlotte and Becky have made amends. It
is a no-brainer for me. I don't care how many handshake deals you've made with Tony Khan, right? And let's be honest, he probably hasn't.
She was at Wembley.
He probably hasn't had the courage to shake. A woman, a woman. What do I do with a woman?
Shake my hand.
Dad, what's a woman doing here? I just don't know. But I imagine that if there's a way out of that, if she hasn't already done proper pen to paper deal. I know she was at Wembley, but that doesn't mean anything. CM Punk was the TNA shows or Impact shows, and he didn't go there, did he? Despite a lot of people thinking he would. I did actually say, I think on one of these pods, it would have been interesting to see how much of a needle mover he was to actually go there.
Yeah.
Just to see. But obviously he's home, which is important. But Mercedes money, man. I mean, she cannot not go back to WWE if she has an option. If she's already done the deal and it's whatever, that's unfortunate timing. We talked about this the other day. There's a lot of passing ships moments going on at the moment with the two companies in terms of 1 minute you sign on the dotted line, it's like, that's the best choice anybody's ever made. And then within 2 weeks, people are like, oh, I bet you wish you hadn't signed that. Or vice versa. Like, it's the worst choice. Cody going back and then obviously like, oh, Vince is back. And everyone's like, oh, the worst decision he's ever made now. It's terrible. This is awful this. Then he's gone. Then he's back. And it's like flip-flopping between the two. Then he's finishing the story. And then it's like, it's going to be amazing. Then he doesn't get the belt. And he's an idiot again. And now, everything's great.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to be in WWE right now? Because it's red hot. It's absolutely red hot. And it could change again in like 6 weeks. But imagine if like she does go to WWE and then it goes bad somehow. Punk's burned it all down with him. He's had a fight with all the horsewomen somehow. It could happen though. That's the thing. At the minute, it's on a dime at the moment.
The pendulum is swinging.
There are no guarantees.
Isn't it?
Wrestlers have never had more of a moment, I imagine, than right this second where it's like, it's literally 50-50.
Yeah.
It's a Michael Sidgwick coin toss, and it could change mid-air as it rolls on the floor. Anyway.
That's the Eric Vasquez impression.
Jesus
You'll be happy. We've got a message from one Matt Rains.
Good.
Says, happy Friday, brothers. Hope you enjoyed the little compilation I posted this morning. I haven't checked this out yet.
It's unbelievable, Matt. Matt has, and he's done this the last couple of years, actually, very kindly just locates moments from the podcast from the year before and whatnot and plays them out for people, which is very nice because we never remember this stuff. No. But he's threaded together every NXT live event PLE signature, I guess, that we attach to them. I don't know why they don't use them myself.
But more memorable.
We kind of add our own stamp. I say we, it's mainly Wilborn. It's led by Wilborn to each of the NXT
Always
PLEs.
led by Wilborn.
And he's put them all together, and you just listen to them back to back to back to back. That
it's going to be really useful as well, because I've forgotten.
Well, he's like a couple of days late, because I think had he done it in time, that would have been my number one, like Spotify Wrapped, was just repeatedly looping the NXT.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
It is mad when you see the Spotify Wrapped numbers. So thank you to everyone who sent them to us. When you work out that, like, oh, that's a shoot month. In the year that you've effectively listened to the podcast. Well, it's bonkers.
Like, 1 month? You had 12 of them. What are you doing?
Step it up, guys.
Step it up, man.
Matt also continues, many more great moments to come. I've got all this and more.
That's not a bad catchphrase, actually. Maybe is it just because I'm sitting here? He's finally starting to get it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Finally clicking.
Live pint pick coming in just under 2 hours.
I do like that as well.
I
do like that as well.
I tell you what, because you're both here. Why not? I haven't told anybody yet, but we're going to do a compilation. Speaking of compilations, because we all know that, I mean, well, actually more so, because it costs so much goddamn money to get them here.
Yeah.
We need to start getting some money back from Stacks.
Yes.
Right? Because I'm fed up of looking at the column and just seeing he takes.
Fair,
he's not even here for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he zips off again.
Right.
There's the plane on the roof the other day.
Saw this morning.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
The snow was landing. Like the talent, talent demands fees and so on, and they're worth so much, but
we had to redo the whole roof just like
every time.
That's not acceptable. So anyway, I decided we should get some money back off Stacks. So what we're going to do is, at some point, I don't know when, but we're going to drop on the channel. We are going to have a compilation full of every time Stacks has turned up in this very room and done his, are we calling it stand-up? Are we calling it...
I'd say jokes, questions, jokes myself.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know. You've never
I see him. It's like every other day I sort of...
I do send you the clips sometimes so you can have a look.
Whenever we're on camera, it's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like the audio pods I'm here for, I just kind of take a seat, step back.
In all the times we've worked here, though, and this is new for me, obviously, as the producer, there's only ever really been like... maybe one tiny moment in my whole WrestleCulture career where I thought I might be getting sacked. Now it's every week. For 15 minutes or less. It's like, well, there's my arse. Stacks is here, so we're all on a tightrope.
Sorry, cleaners, it's a bit late today. We're finished WrestleCulture, then we'll...
Sorry.
Just shut the door behind you.
If you couldn't, don't hoover.
Thanks.
For a minute.
Bye, cleaners.
It's nice of Kenny Omega to do some work inside. Isn't it? Bless him. Needs the money.
We've got some more comments coming in. Mr. Phoenix says, in another universe, Isla and Alba are tag champs managed by Danhausen. I like that as a mental image.
All of them around the cauldron.
And also says, what do you guys think of the OC in an 8-person mixed tag versus Nakamura, Bronson, Ivar, and Valhalla?
What, they're like the Raw freaks?
Totally unrelated to WrestleMania 40, from the predictable to the impossible. Available where you pod. I see.
He's played a blinder. He's played for
He's done this before.
I think that is better.
Wild foursome, that isn't it?
Is Mia Yim still in the OC?
Well, this is it. It's better than...
what's she called now? Still called Mia Yim?
Yeah, Mia Yim.
Did she have a different name at one point?
Meechin for a bit.
Meechin for a bit, and then back to Mia Yim. Nothing is happening with the OC. So I think they'd be over the moon to be with, some of Raw's most featured wrestlers currently. Yeah. Like, Ivar and Bronson Reed, I'd be a little bit worried if I was... I was going to say... Raw? I've forgotten even more. Eric.
What about him?
Like... Not your Eric.
Oh, yeah.
But like...
Hansen and Rowe.
Yeah, I always get like the Viking Raiders, War Raiders names mixed up, but like...
So I just laughed at you and then got drinking my eye.
Drinking my eye!
Just as well this isn't on the telly.
Like, they're going to be a pretty great short-term team of big lads. They're going to fight, and then they're going to get mutual respect.
What's their name? Have we got their name for them yet?
We've workshopped it.
I was going to say, I know you've been busy at it, but have we actually finally settled on it?
No, so like, it's Big Bronson Reed and Ivar. They're not giving you loads.
No.
We'll get there. We will get there.
Well,
maybe not. And Valhalla, obviously, as well. So yeah, they're going to end up as a quality team until it recovers.
Bronson and Ivar and Valhalla too.
Pal Hallas. Because they're friends.
He's getting
bonded by fights.
He's getting there, isn't he?
Leave it with us. Leave it with us.
And when you do get it, it's going to be thunderously great. So,
I hope so, yeah.
Where are we? More questions. Thank you to everyone who sent them in. X-Men #1 fan says, greetings, gents, from the rainy Pacific Northwest. Who do you think CM Punk will piss off first in WWE?
Sounds like Kevin Owens, doesn't it? It's kind of like...
I think it's too late, isn't it? I think it's already happened.
Yeah.
Or Drew.
I don't know. This is the thing. I can't visualize it yet because I have got this unicorn Fantasyland idea that it's going to go, even no matter what he thinks when he gets home, in the buildings, he's going to be home, the best version of himself. I imagine AJ Lee will be hearing God knows what from his days at work.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I can't say it yet. Anyone, I would probably say Breeze Pritchard, our Road Dogg, or William Regal. Like, just to sort of bring up a bit of old frostiness from AEW, and we know what's lingering there. Somebody like in gorilla position, somebody at that top table. I don't think it's going to be fights with wrestlers at this point. I don't know if he would want to entertain the thought. It's like, if I have a problem, why would I mess around with another wrestler when I need to take it to the person that's caused it?
He's definitely going to be on that bus a lot, isn't he? Like, I think.
Yeah,
I can't imagine there's going to be... People might be allowed... You might invite people to go and see him.
Kofi wants to check if his old chair's still there.
But I'm like, I don't... At this point, probably for his benefit and their benefit, and not surely, I know he wants to get involved, and he will. The problem is, he'll, no matter what he's trying to do at the beginning, we've talked about like he might be the best behaved, he might do all this, he might just completely toe the line. But we've all had that thing where for your first couple of weeks, you've got it in your head, and then, well, it turns out life's actually quite hard. So like every day happens, and eventually you just reach that point where he slides back into normal gear, and it'll take that one incident. And it'll be the smallest one, which is the worst thing.
It's ironic because he cares as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he does
be
actually
over the quality of something.
No,
like,
of course.
This will be amazing if we do it this way. And then...
It'll be a thing that he hasn't mentally prepared himself for.
Yeah.
That it shouldn't be a thing, but because he's holding it down in so many other different levels, it'll be the tiniest little thing. And I don't know is the answer to who it's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be anybody specifically that you're thinking, oh, it's one of them people who's disgruntled with him. There'll be a lot of people in there who'll do business with him who won't like him.
Yeah.
I think.
I know he'll piss off first in WWE. Whichever person is tasked with picking him up from the airport who's late.
Because
he's going to chew their... Yeah, that's what I'll say to WWE. Just make sure he gets travel right.
Yeah.
Don't
leave him at the... don't leave him to get the tube back.
Maddest thing, innit?
So weird, that is... Oh, weird.
Rob says, cheers, fellas. Watching from work. Love the show. Cheers, Rob. Thoughts on Cody winning the Rumble again? Don't want him to be booed or put in a bad spot before Mania. Yeah, we were concerned about LA Knight ruining that, and now it's a very different kettle of fish.
Yeah. I think he runs the table. Like, I think he enters at #1 and they flip
In my
it.
head, you said Kofi there. I said, have I missed something? Kofi, is he back in the picture?
I think sometimes the best thing to do is the most obvious, and though people think he's going to win, and winning from number one in a way is sometimes as predictable as unpredictable, that compared to what it used to be, at least now that people have actually done it a few times.
Yeah.
I think he's so good as a babyface that he'll build suspense over and over and again, and you flip last year's finale and it's fresh. Number 30, Gunther, going, not this time, and Cody does it anyway, and it's even more of a heroic accomplishment than it was last year.
See, that one for me, I'm not sure about that. I think that would be a one for me that might be like,
What, for Gunther's sake?
Yeah. There's a lot of, because that was kind of...
for Gunther's sake.
For Gunther's sake. Hang on, is Gunther God now? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
I'm okay with
Pretty
that.
much,
That wasn't disgruntlement. I was just questioning. Is that not reaching a point where you might be worried that like people are going, I like Cody a lot, and obviously he has to win a lot because he's becoming one of the main characters if he isn't already there yet. Like, but it's a dangerous line. If you do it 2 years in a row, and I know that could be a third year and he could finally do it. This is the long-term storytelling company now, isn't it? And that's what I've heard from my colleagues. But like, that'd be a worry there for me.
That's fair.
I would say.
That's fair. There wouldn't be short of other wrestlers who are kind of thereabouts. Yeah, Sami Zayn's, even if he's lost on the night, CM Punk, Kevin Owens, there's like LA Knight, there's people that I think you could put Cody in there with, that there would be a thirst for both to win.
Understanding.
But nobody's going to get booed.
Exactly.
You know, like
that's what I mean. I think
they're in a good place.
They'll trust the process, won't they? Be like, well, maybe it's not the result I wanted, but we'll see where it goes.
Definitely other people who, like LA Knight would probably be a good one. In terms of, like, we know he's on the rise at this point, but maybe it's not his time. So that'll be acceptable.
Especially because he's already lost. Yeah. People have got a little bit of that out of the system with the Roman match.
And he can go toe-to-toe with them as close as you possibly want. Yeah. Same with, to be fair, Gunther last year that's a great example. Gunther doing again this year, though, for me would be a bit like...
Especially because he can't go to Australia.
Yeah, there's nothing happening with Gunther.
So he can't win the chamber or anything like that. Yeah,
I'm excited because, as we're doing right now, there's a huge impetus for them to actually do the thing they're supposed to do with the Rumble. You know, and when they get it right, they do get it right. And this is a year where they really have enough going on that you could use it as the perfect launch.
It's a hot field, isn't it?
It's not like we're just relying on three.
No.
There's a whole bunch of people in there. You could definitely go.
I can't remember if it was in the office or if it was on one of the podcasts where we were talking about it as well. I think you mentioned this. I sort of feel guilty calling it the toy belt now because they're getting there with it, with this world title. Sami Zayn's promos have made me think that belt's the most important piece of tin in the entire business. But like, the Rumble at this point could justifiably be for the shot at the world champion. So if Seth and Punk is happening at the Rumble, that suddenly becomes the prize as well. Like previously it would have been like, you got to go for Roman. It'd be like cashing in on the US title. You'd look stupid for the rest of your career. Like, you've got to go for Roman Reigns.
Who would do that?
You've got to go for Roman Reigns, but not anymore. I think depending on who wins it, you could, like, if Cody wins it, of course, that's the belt he wants. You know, you don't even need to say the other bit because then you're burying the other title. Another wrestler that's maybe had a bit of beef with Seth, if Sammy was to win it, for example, you could justifiably say, I want that one. And it wouldn't feel like he was neglecting Roman Reigns or anything. So I think that's really helped as well.
And it would be something along those lines would be interesting, considering Sammy I don't think it would be fair to say he was collateral damage last year for Cody. They did a great job of weaving them all together. Like, and people got mad about certain results, and it was never going to be Sammy at that point. No. But it would be interesting to be like, we acknowledge that you did exactly what we needed you to do, and like Sami Zayn always does. Literally best for business. Yeah. Here's a reward. Like when Seth was putting everybody over for like literally losing week after week, but it never mattered because he was that good and now he's the champ. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of that with Sami Zayn where it's like, actually, Cody's big enough that he doesn't necessarily need a Rumble. Cody's big enough that, I guess, if you could find another way, he doesn't necessarily need a chamber. But you could use it. Do you know what I mean? These are options for him, but he doesn't need them because it's Cody Rhodes. Someone like Sami Zayn in the Rumble would be like a free hit, wouldn't it? I
suppose you're right about like a Gunther or somebody where just you want the feeling to be maximised with Cody. Like if number 30 was Brock, and I know they've got the mutual respect now, but a fresh as a daisy Brock versus the number one, and then Cody gets it done. Yeah, like let's go. Like it's you. Yeah, it's got
Brock's a brilliant one as well because he's just not there.
He's the known spoiler, and it's like, sorry, now personal. Now that we've made friends after SummerSlam, but I want to throw you out, and then Cody somehow still gets it done.
Well, if number 30 was Roman.
Oh my God. I mean, it's gone down well in the past, so I can't see any evidence why that wouldn't be well received.
That'd be great. I tell you what, it would be
great.
Here
we go. Joe Balla.
So you want a guy from Samoa called Joe? Let me give it to you.
They could do quite a bit of an old-fashioned heel miscommunication.
From Samoa, by the way. What am I? Samoan. A guy who's Samoan. Nicholas, come on. Pull yourself together.
The final three being Jimmy, Solo, and Cody. And then Cody sort of does the old duck out the way of the super kick, and out goes Solo because of Jimmy, and then the only one left is a clown. And
then Jimmy wins.
And Jimmy wins, and he gets a bail. And then he's like, Cody sort of halfway dispatched the bloodline on the way to WrestleMania because they decided not to do that one last year.
Yeah, quite rightly.
Correct decision.
WrestleMania 40.
Except for right at the very end. You remember at the Rumble where Edge won?
Yes.
Which still feels weird because there was nobody there.
Yeah.
But into that one where Orton just popped out of nowhere into the RKO.
Oh, God, yeah.
And nobody should have been got by that because obviously I got by that.
Yep.
I was at my house going, I was holding a bad place.
I need this,
I was like,
Randy.
You can't. You fucking take this from me. And I'm pointing in the mirror like, you won't cry. You won't cry. But I'm actually at a point where I can't take another L. I need this. You've actually done it to me on the day that I didn't need this.
Randy, I don't know if you're familiar with 3 months of Tier 4 lockdown, but we're not in a great place right now.
Randy, for God's sake, I'm clinging on to life with podcast horsemen and food. If you take wrestling from me, that's it. I won't be able to do podcast horsemen. I've got nothing left.
I now watch wrestling on an iPad on the floor so I can lie face down and look at
I got so mad at myself that I got. I was like, how have you literally cover this stuff for a job? How have you got by the
really
oldest
That
one
was
in
stressful,
wrestling?
that was.
That was so frustrating. But imagine if this year he just does it. Like he pops in late, boop, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Everybody's out. Look at the size of my arms. He's like kids, go on places.
Let's get a few more questions in. Wrestling Observer, says Andy, claims Punk wanted to go back to WWE before signing with AEW. Changes how I look at the I'm Home promo. Would you rather see Sasha in AEW or WWE? Sort of answered that one.
Sasha in WWE. The Punk stuff, I don't know. I think that this run probably wasn't happening. I saw some engagement tweet, but I actually think I agree with it. This run probably doesn't occur with AEW opening the door for his return. Yeah. Backstage was one thing, but remember how icky was about. No, I worked for Fox actually, as if they were the baby faces in any conversation. But I worked for Fox.
Thank God.
Yeah, if he was willing to draw that line then, and it was only for a shiny floor talk show, I don't know. Pipe dream to think he was going to come back to WWE. Pipe dream.
I wonder how much of an influence the Endeavour thing was. You know, the major.
Yeah.
They keep saying it wasn't, and him and to be fair, everything that Nick Khan has done, whether you like him or not, is indicated that he is actually best for business. He would literally put he'll get rid of people who have been working there forever. Not I'm championing that. I'm just saying he's doing what he thinks, what he's been hired to do.
Best Khan in wrestling. So
it's not a high bar, is it?
He disagrees with that. Apparently, it was just reported, I think, just before we came in the studio. There was all this WWE to the WB network, and that would obviously potentially put Dynamite at great risk. Apparently, that was Nick Khan taking the proposal to WB and them going, no thanks, we're quite all right. But the idea that, why are you targeting them, Nick? What have you got to gain from going on that network specifically?
Do you reckon also they wouldn't give him a meeting? He was like, just tell him Mr. Khan's here.
Oh, God.
Mr. Phoenix says, just a reminder, Hamflett, one final beat and the Iron Four-Way are goated.
No, he's never,
correct, sorry.
You'll agree with half of that, won't you? Never having it.
As a long-term lover of the two of them at that point, still clinging on for dear life. Nah, man.
Were you out by the Iron Four-Way?
Yes.
The Iron Four-Way,
which
we have to have a winner. Well, until next week.
Yeah. Which one's the Iron Four-Way?
It was in the summer of 2020. There was a fatal four-way. Finn Balor, Ciampa, Gargano, and Adam Cole.
Yeah, that's
for the belt, vacant belt, and
was it still in at this point?
Yeah,
I remember this.
And they said, "Oh well, we're not going to f around with the belt. Definitely, we were in a 60 boring ass minutes."
This wasn't Cole just back. I want to say
might have been. I feel like it wasn't Cole, but my memory might be failing. But either way, two-way tie that resulted in the last two having to have a singles match the following week. It's just come on.
I do remember this because there was still quite a few. I can't remember the exact one where I would have jumped off, but I remember getting a few. Kyle and Finn.
Yeah, those.
Gargano, Ciampa, Balor. Cole, you're right.
It was going against Dynamite at Daly's, which was just everybody's breath of fresh air, literally at the time.
I was honestly struggling to watch any wrestling at that point. I think it was just hitting too much. I was like, not good. This.
We're about 2 years away, aren't we? So it's 2023. We're about 2 years away from all the engagement accounts doing the 5 years since this goated moment. And it was like, well, careful how you use your words here. Like,
very careful.
Two things as well, looking that up. Number one, if they did it now, an Iron 4-way with some of the talent they've got in NXT, it'd be one of the greatest matches of the year. And also, when I went to search for it, my computer was like, do you mean Iron Survivor? Oh, yes, I can't wait for that.
If there was an Iron 4-way in NXT now, it'd be a character who plays golf and does the laundry. Like, he'd have an ironing board and a golf club.
Hey, let's not give him too many
Someone dressed like Iron Man.
We already gave him good cop, bad cop earlier on this week.
Is this your NXT audition? Is that what this is?
This is what it feels like, doesn't it? This is like, you know, when if you like someone had chucked the water on him or whatever, like one of them old gimmicks where it's like, he's just a normal guy. Throw this on him, it's like...
Okay, try this. Thanks, Vic. Yeah, I'm backstage here with Von Wagner. Von?
You can totally see it. Like when it was NXT point, with all the bright colours and that, he's just there going, hi guys, and welcome to another... Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, time to... I'm not going to leave you in suspense any longer.
And it's done. Just like that.
I'm very confused, Mr. Stone. This man seems to think he is an animated character.
Just Daryl says, Spotify told me I spent 28,450 minutes listening to you lot. Too many, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks for another year of class content connoisseurs. Don't worry, I won't tell Cedric about the alliteration. OG Stem Cell says, thoughts on Sting's last match being a singles match for the AEW Championship against Swerve. They should take it. They should do it while it's hot, basically, and and they've got Coffin Law.
We landed on the Young Bucks tag title match as the pitch, didn't we, the other week? Mm-hmm. And I'm leaning further towards it being that singles match. Sting's undefeated record, Darby Allin being up Everest or wherever the frig he is. Like, a heel, I think we'll have the belt by Revolution. I cannot see MJF making it there. Even if it's Joe. I know Joe is like being touted as more of a transitional champion, a Swerve or somebody else. I think they're going to go the whole way with Sting. Your one and only AEW singles match is your last match, and you could retire on top.
Miz and Lawler they did, like a Raw on the road to WrestleMania.
It was at a pay-per-view. It was at the Elimination Chamber.
Bloody hell, was it?
They did it on Raw as well. Did a TLC, and then they actually rematched it on pay-per-view, and it was Lawler's first ever pay-per-view WWE title match before he got his first Mania against Cole. So they were doing all these like, go on, have that.
I know, lovely happy ending.
Yeah,
he lost.
He lost.
He won, and then he lost.
Yeah. Sitting with Steve Austin going, I love that match. Is not what happened. He was sitting there, Mr. Didn't sit well with me. Austin's like, he was rubbish. He didn't do nothing.
But I could see them going for the singles match.
I think singles would be, surely after all this, all the trials and tribulations, all the WWE run that went wrong and all that, in his head, he'd like to maybe correct that. I know there's a risk involved there, because it is your last match. There ain't no redoing it after this. But you pick the right opponent and you do the right match, and look at this and look at him. Look at him.
They're like, guys, we've heard all the complaints about the whole Ric Flair thing, and obviously that's just, we'll leave that in 2023. And then during the Revolution match, Sting's in trouble because Mogul Embassy's getting involved, and who comes to save him? NWO, baby. Let's get Hogan out there.
Oh, God, why would you say that?
This is very WWE.
Hounds of Justice.
Don't, because Tony will go back on his word and he'll have him in there in a heartbeat. This seems fine.
It's extremely WWE, so apparently that's bad for AEW these days. But in at Revolution, if they were they could really, if it was, say, Joe, I think is a good example, and Sting and Joe fought before in TNA. That was the match where Joe did that insane bump onto the stairs, if you remember. But like,
don't need to do that again, Joe.
Never ever. And Sting has the opportunity to retire with the title, and it's all great and all that. But then also in the background, Sting's thinking, I'd like to do business the right way. If the face of the Revolution Sonic Ring was the same as MJF's chip, remember the can cash in any time deal? Somebody like a Swerve could win the ring on the same night, and now please, and just batters poor Sting, and that's how the pay-per-view goes off the air. And he's done both. He's got to win the belt, then go out on his back.
I wasn't very sure how to bring Jungle Boy Jack Perry back. I've got an idea.
I think I like the sentiment. I think we like have your cake and eat it. I got it both ways. I had it both ways. But I don't know if I'm going to do something with him. It needs to be clean win or clean
and just
lost.
Just that. Yeah.
Get a picture moment. Yeah, I suppose you could from that. But
no, but I
you want
like saying,
if it's history, you want to have this like. Everybody loves the dead man when he lost the first streak. Look at the piece, so sad. Like, that's the one images you've got. I use them a million times. They're great images. It's a good moment in wrestling history. If you just got beat the crap out of afterwards, maybe that would be quite good, actually. But, like, you want that iconic moment and just keep it there. So I think for him, it's either couldn't get the job done, but he had the match and went on his back the way you're supposed to, Mark. Or he actually somehow wins, which would be wild.
And has the belt.
And has the belt. And then,
for the nice moment. And
he's a GSP moment where he's just like, I'll come back, win the belt, and then leave.
See ya.
See ya. Bye, everyone.
One of my treasured memories.
Bisping.
One of my treasured memories of working at WrestleCulture is not the Undertaker losing streak. That's just a treasured memory, full stop. It was a video that is sadly no longer on YouTube, although you could probably find them and piece them all back together, of best fan heckles. In Dallas covering WrestleMania 38.
So good.
We were that kind of like, we've all been on these trips, deliriously tired, but delirious is the key word about all of this, because the things you've seen and experienced, struggling to get to sleep, haven't done some work or something, and just watching this Heckles video and absolutely pissing ourselves. It's wall-to-wall banter from the fans. Yeah. And you got the Undertaker sat up, and it's silent, and it's amazing because of the silence. You've got like 70,000 people just in shock, and Undertaker's like trying to sit up and come around, then because you suck! just pops the bubble.
It's that and Triple H trying to get in his ear, being like, if you did this, the biggest moment of your career. It's got a great point, Sting.
And the LTST in the Hell in a Cell, Undertaker versus Triple H. About 6 different cuts of a guy like in the crowd going, do the guillotine leg drop! Do the guillotine leg drop! Here it comes, here it comes. Oh my God, the guillotine leg, greatest moment wrestling. It's good stuff. It is good stuff.
How do you think that makes me feel, huh? Please, someone find that video. Mark Lee,
can I pay that one off if we don't say who it's talking about?
Yeah.
Wrestler I won't say. How do you think that makes me feel, fan? Like a big fat piece of shit!
Right, final few questions.
It's so clear.
Mark Lee Willis says, my maths teacher was called Miss Jackson. Just saying. William Bryce Wrestling, thank you for your donation. Do you guys think that CM Punk's return will negatively affect Gunther's chances for a world title match at Mania? I previously thought he'd win the Rumble and go for the world title at Mania before. We sort of talked about that.
Gunther's in a good place with the IC. I think you can get that IC belt all the way to Mania, and it's huge for whoever beats him for
Chad
that.
Gable at Mania feels... the Mania card I've booked in my mind is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I've got Bad Bunny work in it.
Like it does every year. This one, I saw someone doing a little 4-image drop on Twitter the other day. And like the potential matches they could pick, great. Will they pick them?
Well, yeah. But this is where we should be.
Yeah,
should be Survivor Series where you're invited to speculate and...
Where WWE becomes the graphic dropping company. Is that what you're saying? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
That's all it feels like these days. When they dropped the CM Punk Monday Night Raw one, that was it. I was like, there is not a single match you can book Tony Khan that is exciting as CM Punk next to the Raw logo.
all the graphic designers in Tony Khan's. I've got a lot more fucking money than Jim Crockett. I'm not gonna take this shit. Get Photoshop on right now. It's like loads of wild 3D it's AR graphics. It's like dropping on your computer screen and coming out with like Twitter. Look at this match graphic. The match is gone. It's a new graphic.
Tony Khan's got like Truman Show screens everywhere, and he's like, perfect. Drop it. Tweet. Jay Lethal versus Gravity. On Rampage.
He's like, drop it. This is amazing. It's a Jay versus Gravit because he's forgot the Y. Jay versus. God damn it! God, no. It's like holding up the barbecue. That's one fine looking barbecue. Why doesn't mine look like that?
Somebody's pressed the wrong button and it's broadcast on the outside of the Sphere in Vegas. That cost us $82 million. Jay Lethal versus Gravit.
Gravit. God, Gravit.
Jay Lethal versus Gravel.
There's like an indie worker telling his like partner, I've got a booking in Vegas.
This is too many like automated like text fields.
Yeah.
Jay Lethargy versus Gravit.
Brian, or one of our talented listeners, viewers, Jay Lethal versus Gravel on the side of the Sphere, please. Would be just fantastic. I'll let you choose the Gravel. Oh God.
Jay Lethal versus Green.
We've got no money left.
Daddy. Daddy. Oh, God.
Thanks to Dogs Danglies, who says, you look like a ginger chuckle brother. That's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said about me.
To be fair,
yeah.
The Chuckle Brothers wish.
Yeah.
One more so than the other.
Running Manly says, my Spotify recap says I listened to the crew for 29,451 minutes.
Unbelievable numbers.
Very happy to listen to daily. Thank you. Mr. Twilly also says, cheers, guys. It's very spot on this. Did a small piece of you think it was going to be Austin Theory and Grayson Waller when you heard Punk's music? Until I saw him, I was like, I've not seen anything yet.
I didn't think if it was going to be anybody else, I thought it'd just be nobody, and it'd simply be the music because the big goes off the air just to let you know that, like, it's happening. It's happening. That's why, like, when he first creeps out and then the camera cuts away again, I was like, I saw a human body there. That was definitely CM Punk.
I just love the guy. Chicago. Yeah. It's my favourite.
It's like that's Phil forgetting how to do Bang Bang when he was meeting Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Just like you just gone into autopilot. And just like, your brain's just saying like, wait, just be normal. Bang bang. Bang bang. Bang bang.
He just slaps him in the face. Yeah. Bang bang.
Bang bang. Oh, brilliant.
Bang. Oh shit.
Ping.
Sailor Emmett says, happy Friday to Big Willie, the only pro wrestling journalist left. Thank you very much. Hey. Michael the Hammer Hamflett, the best wrestling pundit on YouTube because he nails all his wrestling takes. And the most handsome man at WrestleCulture, What Culture even, Adam Nicholas.
One day, I'll be acknowledged for my talents. One day.
Yeah.
Just like, I'd like that. Thank you for that. Still nice to say, of course.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says, like, good hand him.
Yeah.
Good hand.
I'll never be acknowledged for my beauty.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, it must be so hard being Nicholas. People saying that. Like, I do have actual talents. I do things.
What's that like? All right, Matthew Perry. That amazing. Like, oh, my diamond shoes are too tight.
I can't even complain about it because it's so hard getting called. Well, you know what it is? Fuck it.
You know what we're going to do, Nicholas? We're going to she's all that, yeah? We're just going to, like, put you in those purple glasses. Adam Nicholas. And then you take them off. Oh, my God.
Where's this come from?
Hello. It's like peeling the suspenders off.
John Harrison, legend, of course, made the WrestleCulture intro. Good Friday, boys. Saw this on X earlier today. Would love to hear your thoughts. What was the biggest shock return to WWE, Edge or Punk? I think at the time, Punk, because it seemed impossible. Like Edge, with all the people coming back, you were like, I don't think
Edge's was like, to say it wasn't a shock. I don't mean it like it wasn't a surprise. Obviously, it was a surprise. But I think it's two different words, surprise and shock, which I know people are going to be like, it's the same thing. I would argue it's not. The surprise feels like there's a chance. I don't think there was a chance for Punk. Like, it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot for Michael Sidgwick to be like, I can't believe this happened.
Yeah.
And he's seen everything. Like, he's one guy I would say, if you get him, you've done something that nobody was anticipating could actually happen. Knowing the history, knowing all of the bad blood, etc., etc. And that, to me, felt like unsurmountable. Edge was more of a, it's hope and pray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah.
And you've seen enough whispers that it could happen. And I think, from a personal perspective, obviously, that was just the moment, the way they did it, the way it happened. Everything about it was just too perfect. The Punk thing was more like, he's ended up here for reasons that probably, you could argue, might not necessarily been the purest ones initially, but he's here. And I can't wait to see what he does. Two different things for me.
Yeah, I think, considering they were both out for roughly the same amount of time, 10 years, give or take, for both. 8, was it, for Edge? Or 9? Anyway, around a decade nearly that they were gone.
Yeah.
I think in that decade, you definitely said, out loud and in your head, Edge could come back to WWE more than you said Punk could.
After Bryan.
Yeah.
After Bryan returned.
Especially when,
it's like, all right, that's the same vibe.
Yeah.
And I know I know he's been talking to him. I listened to the podcast where they talk about wanting to come back and what's possible. You're like, there's a roadmap there.
You entertained the thought just more, didn't you?
That Punk, it didn't seem like it was a roadmap. For me, that's what was the thing.
Just a very quick side note, because I want to put over a friend of the channel, Chris Van Vliet, who's been doing some sensational interviews recently.
Has. Chris Van Vliet has been on fire at the minute.
I saw that clip with him and Tyson Kidd. I feel so sorry for Tyson Kidd. He's still, doing fantastically.
Yeah.
Always here. Whenever there's a really good match, it's like Tyson Kidd was behind that in WWE. I always feel really bad because people go, Saraya, Bryan Danielson, Edge. What's the problem? If you've got a neck issue, wait a few years, then come back. It's like the top, isn't it? It's like the top of his spine. It's like C1 and C2. He's like, I could take a bump and just die instantly.
There's literally no middle ground.
And especially, I feel bad, especially with the news about Serena Deeb today. I'm going to try and cut back on being like, why don't you get back wrestling, guys? What's the problem?
Yeah.
Just really don't know sometimes what's going on. No. But I think you're right. There's two different things. One final thing before we get into this week's hashtag Bloody Good quiz. Just Daryl says, assuming Sting has a singles match at Revolution, middle of the ring after losing, does he wipe off the face paint not to step on your dick for the preview? I'd say, as long as he doesn't do what he did in TNA where he started putting on the face paint, and some questions there about what he chose to put on.
Aye. I mean, if he wanted one more run as Da Joker, since I'm sat in Sidgwick seat, I would be up for that. But I think, like, to be honest, the match might do that for him.
Yeah.
You know, the face paint might be gone, and that might be quite a nice artistic end to things anyway. The sheer force of the battle has worn him down physically, mentally, and all that. And you see because the face paint protects him, doesn't it? In one respect, it protects. It's like Rey Mysterio's mask; it protects your age a little bit. But like, there's no shame in being 60 odd and being as amazing as Sting's been, like in these last few years. I think they have such an opportunity to do one of the nicest wrestling retirements. Yeah. Ironically, outside of WWE's for Ric Flair, but the difference is Sting will observe is like you don't get these too often to be as nice as this, and Absolutely. You could do it.
That's the thing. It seems like it's too nice, and this is the company that, in fairness to them,
for
a lot of things that people might be saying they've changed on, they still give people nice moments.
Yeah, they're good at this.
Very, very good.
Takes the face paint off, and they're like, "Oh, how's you backstage? Who the hell are you?
Who the hell's that? He can't get back in to get his clothes." Like, I'm sorry.
Takes the face paint off, and it's not Sting.
That's why he's been so
after
good.
All this.
Marcel Laviolette nicely allows us to transition into this week's quiz because Marcel says, "Hey Jez, my Spotify came in 43k plus."
I think Marcel beat Matt.
That might be the record. Yeah,
that's incredible. I beat you both. 6 years I've been dealing with this. 6 fucking years I've had to put up with this shit.
You don't get any nice
and still
Spotify musical accompaniment for
6 years, and this year I decided I wanted to be the most intense version of that, please. So, yeah, keep listening. That's all I say.
Thank you.
Enjoying the shake-up. Hamflett, go easy on the bloody good quiz. We have a draw-style quiz here. Adam, that is the jacket, chef's kiss.
Oh, no, he can bring it. If he wants to bring it, he can bring it.
PS top podcast. So enough of all this. It's now time for a bloody good quiz. And this week's quiz is brought to you by everyone who donated to my Movember. I thought I'd give a quick shout out here.
That's
nice. So that's Jose Palomares, my dad, Adam Blair, Vanessa Boy, Steve Klitschis. Thank you so much, Steve. £100, Steve.
I'm about to be outed on YouTube. That's good, isn't it? Huh?
Gavin Wilson, Mark Lee Willis, Jack Cousins, Peter W., thank you for your donation, Daniel Barbier, Sarah Thompson, Michael Taylor, Sabit Franz, an anonymous supporter who just tipped us over £500, nice. Michael Hamlet, Kev Naylor, Cormac Wyatt, Eric Vasquez, Cy White, Sion Jones?
Maybe Sean?
Sean? Yes, maybe. Probably Sean, actually, yeah. Dave Harmon, and Luke Abyss. Thank you all for your donations.
Yep, thanks, guys. Thanks for that.
Wait a minute, so I'm one of the sponsors, but can I just see the answers?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
It's all... And I'm still going to beat you.
Yeah. Matt Rain says, Marcel smashed Matt Rains. He only did 35k. Pathetic. Joking.
That is harsh.
Wow.
Anything I've ever said to that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right. This week's quiz, though, is all about...
Thanks, Matt.
Where am I? This week's quiz is all about... There we go.
I just hate how much it works. It's annoying us.
It's all about big mistakes in wrestling. After all the wrestling journalists...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What? Got CM Punk's return.
You dress like you should be at a WWE press conference, but this journalist thing...
There should be an empty room.
I tell you what, the day he turns up... And man, it'll never happen because they hate us.
Yeah.
The day you're getting for a WWE scrum, and put the camera on you, and you're dressed like this. In fact, that would probably get you in.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it.
Can't be someone from WrestleCulture, yeah.
Question for Gunther. Yeah, hi Gunther.
Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah.
Same?
Yeah. Or you could just go in and go, question for me? Just do the Spider-Man meme.
The icy title.
You just run up the thing before you get tackled. Just do the Spider-Man meme. Give everybody the chance, and you get smashed to the floor.
Gunther, the icy title is for me.
It's for me.
So they're all about mistakes in wrestling. 10 questions, multiple choice shouting, and wait for me to come to you. Remember, guys, it's just for fun.
It's always just for fun.
Always.
Yeah, always for fun.
Question number 1. Many people, the nice, easy one to start. Many people think that they should never have ended the Undertaker's streak. But who was the last person the Undertaker beat at WrestleMania before Brock Lesnar?
Nicholas. I've gone too early there, I think. Punk?
Lesnar in the street, yeah.
He just wanted to get one over you about Punk, didn't he? He's like, he still couldn't be the dead
Best
man.
match of the night, then.
One of my favourite, and there's not loads of them.
Yeah.
But one of my favourite Undertaker Mania matches. That you can tell he's got that. He's operating on spite, isn't he?
Aye.
Punk's
because they're not on last.
Honestly, he's the best. Yeah. Think about the match he delivered. Only 3 and a couple of stars.
3.5 stars, but whatever.
But that match at Wembley's a spite match as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Punk was in the
could be great.
Grey and purple as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was.
That Punker.
Oh, yeah.
Question 2. What year did WWE go PG?
It's all you,
2006,
baby.
2007.
I'm going to let the encyclopedia go for it.
2008 or 2009?
I think it was 2008.
Yay!
2007 needed to be forgotten very quickly.
Yes. Question 3. The invasion. That's kind of a mistake, generally.
Yeah. Nicholas, true.
Lance Storm was the first WCW wrestler on WWF television as part of the invasion, but who did he attack? Was it Chris Jericho, Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, or Steve Blackman?
No idea. Nicholas, only because I wanted to be this, and because we share a birthday. Steve Blackman.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Can I have the options again, please?
Chris Jericho, Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko.
You want to think
forget
Jericho.
I can visualise a super kick and a terrible new WCW logo, and I can't think who it was.
But you still, both of you, of course, have a phoner.
I'm going to go early on the phone boner.
Are you?
Yes.
Really?
I'm going to go now.
No
Because I'll forget
You got
otherwise.
places to be, like.
Currently,
God, no.
currently, we just have the words 2008 written in the chat. But chat, let us know.
Perry Saturn would be my next guess.
Matt Reigns has gone for Steve Blackman, which was your guess, wasn't it?
Yes. Who did Lance Storm attack on the first moment of a WCW star appearing?
What happens if, is this like unprecedented? I've gone for the phone a boner, but I'm so universally disliked that nobody replies. To
I think it's because there is a slight delay.
I believe
It's
that's
coming.
what you call tough
ask the audience that don't like you.
Cosmic Joe Chronicles is giving you a hint.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go with word for word Cosmic Joe Chronicles clue there because I would like to see this wrestler. Thank you, Joe, earnestly. But I just like seeing stuff like this. I'm going to go with Terry Saturn. Yeah, Terry Saturn, I think.
Good.
The more I think about it, I think it wasn't.
Where are we? No, that's the wrong one.
Yay!
Thanks. Thank you, chat.
He's facing Steve Blackman.
Do you think Matt Reigns put Steve Blackman there as a sort of Hamflett?
Hate. Pure hate.
Shout out to Marcel Laviela.
Used to love Steve Blackman's tune as well.
Yeah.
Feathermore also got it right.
It's just hardest man on earth.
Yeah.
The hardest man on earth.
Nearly died, didn't he? Like,
Yeah.
he kicked out of like some flesh-eating virus. It was killing him from the inside or something.
Because it's the only way to kill him. You couldn't kill him from the outside.
Yeah. Cannot
way.
be stopped.
Hardest man alive.
Question
Shamrock? Nah.
Question 4, 2-1 to Hamflett. What did WhatCulture.com rank as WCW's biggest mistake?
Come on, you got this.
Finger poke of doom, letting Stone Cold Steve Austin go, too many NWO members, or David Arquette?
Ooh, that's 4 good choices.
It's okay. Whenever you do these ones, there's a sigh of relief when I think, I don't think I wrote that.
No,
because it's not worse than when...
Be funny though if we did one of the and it was you and you'd forgotten it.
Yeah. I mean, they're all candidates.
Hoist him with his own petard.
Yes.
Still waiting. Anybody ever know about anybody who hoisted someone else with a petard? Like, everybody hoists themselves.
Yeah.
Aaron
Never hear about someone who's
Hayden.
like, oh, the petard just worked. I got the other person.
What one did I hear about that recently? Trust you implicitly. Like, that implicitly is somewhat redundant, isn't it? Like, I'm going to trust you.
No, but I'm really going to trust you.
Yeah.
Also, while you're thinking
Well, the
about...
explicit one. I trust you.
Yeah, I trust you! For fuck's sake! Also, just because I've just remember this because this is stuff we did a few weeks back before I went away on my trip. Everybody who sent me pictures of and confirmation that baby pigeons are an actual thing. Thank you for that. I totally forgot about all this. I was just like the bit on 30 Rock where they're like, "Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?"
I haven't seen it.
Because you haven't.
No.
You haven't. Someone sent me a picture though of like them all in this tiny little nest that was like wrapped away somewhere, and I'm like, photoshopped, obviously.
Yeah, birds aren't real.
Do you remember in the Pando when like they were saying our bird population's gone through the roof? It's out the ass because there's this, like, we don't really know about this, but the reality, nature's pretty brutal, guys. Nature's like a John Moxley sort of bloodbath. And like a lot of the early days, birds are like sent out of the nest. And it's like, like live or die.
Yeah.
You go for it. And there's a lot of ways birds can die when they're that little, like predators getting kicked, whatever. And
that's the two. That's it.
I'm kind of a nature guy.
And I want you to know. I want you to know that he went and kicked second.
I didn't, but on work experience when I was 16, my friend Martin did.
Oh.
So,
Shearer!
I've never,
Brave new world.
never ever forgotten.
Getting kicked.
From Martin, if he's watching, and I feel like I might link him after
It's the
this.
second time this week I've heard this.
Yeah,
story.
we were on work experience and we grew up near the seaside, so there were some big ass seagulls, and you could like kind of, they were brave, so they were just like, you could do whatever and fly, they'd fly away, whatever. You go whoosh, and they all fly away. So he went to pretend to boot one, and it obviously wasn't active, and he just kicked it all the way down the street.
He's acting. This is like George Costanza on Seinfeld, where he accidentally runs over a pigeon. He's like,
I want to, in defence of him as well, I want to say, like, he went white as a sheet afterwards. He's like, he just couldn't believe what he...
so have you kicked us in the head?
Yeah, the seagull was already...
Yeah, the seagull was already dead.
Oh, man.
George
So as I say it anyway, if you're not getting eaten by a predator or kicked,
And that's
there was
it.
nobody around, it was a safer time for the
Really?
baby birds to survive. And as a result-
I would support this because when I went through Newcastle, when I went through Newcastle on my early morning runs during the pandemic, one of the greatest things ever, going out at like 5 o'clock and there's literally no one in the city. It was like
28 days later.
Escape from New York, or 28 days later,
yeah.
but with no zombies, which was amazing. And obviously it was a bad time. I hope everybody had an okay time. But like, it was the two things that had taken over. You know, everyone's worried about what's going to happen in the future. I can tell you, the land will be populated by birds and Deliveroo drivers. That's it. That's all it was. There was just literally so many birds and so many Deliveroo drivers who were like taking weird routes because they could. They were like going across town squares because like, well, it's faster to go that way and there's nobody here.
Aye.
I was like, that's illegal.
all of a sudden, deliveries were getting boats on the time. Well, what's anyone to do about it?
We own this. Is our I'm the captain of this city now. Which is crazy. It was absolutely wild. The one bad thing though was, to your point about the predator stuff, I was on a run like, everything's great. This is amazing. I'm breathing in this clean air. Life's just quiet. Oh, what a great run this is. Turn on the corner, there's two seagulls eating another bird. Just eating his head. Yeah.
That's probably what my mate kicked down the street. And
delicious. I'm going to be sick now. Good.
So what did WrestleCulture rank?
I'll go Hamflett, because the big man was there. I'll go with a finger poke of doom.
Yeah.
No, dear, that's wrong.
David Arquette.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Letting Steve Austin go.
Someone's trying to be clever with that, haven't they? Like,
A little
here's
bit.
the one you've not thought of.
I get it, but
It was Michael's situation.
who wrote that?
Oh, I just had that open.
Sorry.
Aaron. Apologies, Aaron. Aaron Hayden.
You're wrong, Aaron Hayden. But sure, it's a good
Thank
list.
you for your
Check it out
hard
on
work.
whatculture.com, but you're incorrect. Let's have a chat.
Incorrect.
Catch me on Slack about that. Well,
Question 5.
tell you why. You like that.
Catch me on Slack.
Who was Cody Rhodes' last opponent in AEW? Ethan Page and
Nicholas. Ooh, Sammy Guevara?
What a match.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Ladder match.
What a sign.
What a match.
Was a promo before or after that one?
Yeah, because he's cutting it in front of the ladder, almost forgetting that he's got to
gotta
promote
do
this
the
ladder
match.
match.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
60 other things to talk about. Like fighting CM Punk, like burying the revival.
What do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, it was unreal. Like, what a
What's
little
happened to you, pal?
great, but a great time capsule, by the
Yeah.
way, because just like seeing them, hearing people shouting and booing him out the building at that point.
But there was no booze. It was nothing, was it? It was like, he's...
You hear someone
finished it.
I think you hear someone saying like, "You suck" or something like that. It's like, he's like, "No, I'm gonna keep going. I got something to say.
I got 2 weeks left of this
I've got
deal.
something to say."
And Matt Raines says, I remember 2 flies shagging on Wilborn's window.
Oh,
I
God.
remember this.
I remember
Yeah.
that very well. You were too engaged in that. Those podcasts were sort of keeping me going for a while there, because when I was away from the laptop, times were really hard. And I'm thinking, we're going to switch these laptops off now, and I've got to try and stop my kids from going insane and like take the mantle from my wife, who was doing such an amazing job. Wilborn's probably going to have half an hour saying, "Oh, Louise, look.
He's literally be on his phone like that. Going,
Yeah.
Zoom in. It's a little bit more.
Portrait mode.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, bit of zoom on that. Yeah.
I feel like the one positive those flies gave us was that it was a WWE review.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, we can skip through a lot of nonsense. We've got these guys to talk about.
Question 6, 2 each, by the way. How many
We're
titles?
We're on track.
How many titles have been defended on AEW television?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
One of the big issues that people have with it is the amount of titles. 11, 22, 33, or 44.
Wow.
Because you've also got the ones from other companies, haven't you? Yeah. Like, oh, God.
AEW, Ring of Honor, AAA,
TNA.
TNA.
Like a
what was the
Ride
one
the
that-
Mega Wave or something.
Yeah.
Serena Deeb used to
Japan.
have the one, didn't you? What
Yep,
was that?
the NWA women's.
NWA women's.
I'll go Hamflett and we'll say, if in doubt, Wilborn goes the middle, doesn't he?
Goes the middle, and it'll be one of them two.
I'll
for the numerical
be
ones.
conservative for AEW's sake and say 22.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Whatever's next to 22. What?
23.
This fucking guy.
Oh, I've got my funny glasses on. Wop, 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 wop.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I'm waiting for him to like pull that, and this thing spins
Yeah, he
around and
said this.
squirts water out or something.
Do the,
33, did you mean?
Whatever's the next.
Yeah, 11, 22, 33, 33.
do the suspenders. And again.
Do it in. That was better.
The one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
33 is...
Hey, he loves his numbers down the middle.
33.
33, that's three.
That was an old quiz I found as well, so that might be...
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe more at this point, yeah.
Question 7, 3-2 to Nicholas. Who was never a member of the NWO?
Hands off the wheel now.
Nick Patrick, Mark Jindrak, Disco Inferno, or Horace Hogan?
Hamflett. Jindrak.
Good time for it to give you the one you wanted there. That's good.
Thank you for that.
Question 8. What star rating did Dave Meltzer give the main event of Hell in a Cell 2019?
20.
Oh, God.
That Fiend and Seth.
It was low, but was it in the minuses?
That's what I can never remember.
I'll give you a clue.
Never remember.
-1 star, -2 stars, -3 stars, or -5 stars?
It's 1 or 2, I think.
We're on 3 each? Yeah, 3 each.
I'll take the punt first, but probably just narrow the field. I'll go -3.
No, dear, that's wrong.
-5 is excessive, but Dave is a bit of a player when he wants to be.
Yeah.
Not like that, sadly, but
It's an all-time worst experience
yeah,
from a viewer's
disastrous.
point of view.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
Of
it's
course
got
it
that
was.
kind
Of course, it has. Yeah, but then there's also
Well,
that
they're still working
like-
for a bit. And
-1 is bad. -2 is enough to be like. Is that one of the options? -2. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go -2, please. Yeah. I feel like 1 is like because -1 you got to be terrible.
yeah.
But then that extra one to be like, fuck off. Dave's like, I've lost a bit of time there doing that.
Yeah.
He's not selling the toolbox.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
Question 9.
It's a weird time, that. Well, Seth could be headed down that road again if he's not careful.
I feel like Dynamite launched the following Wednesday because I'm sure one of the books just
Really?
like after Hell in a Cell was finishing, one of the books just tweeted AEW Dynamite.
Yeah.
It launches Wednesday. Someone's
Yeah.
like, yep.
Yeah.
4-3 with 2 questions left.
It's all you. It's all you, baby.
Question 9. Who came out at number 30 in the disastrous 2015 Royal Rumble?
Oh, come on. It's, yeah.
Was it
2015.
Big Show, Rusev, Kane, or Dolph Ziggler?
This is that Rumble.
Yeah, it's not the Ray one.
It's not
Not
Ray
the Ray
getting
one.
booed out of the building Rumble. Right. Oh, sorry, can you have them again, please?
Big Show, Rusev, Kane, Dolph Ziggler.
Right, so it's not Rusev.
It's not Rusev.
Because he was out
Yeah.
for a bit.
Ziggler did 30 in 2018,
Did, which
but I
would
feel like
be-
he did it once before as well.
Possibly. But I'm not sure it would have been this one. I think it was one of your mates. Oh, it was
Was one of the lads.
One of the lads, I think.
One of the scooper-uppers, the clean-up crew at the end.
Let's show you what the real talent
Hamflett.
is.
I'll go with school trousers Kane.
No, dear, that's wrong.
I've got to get this wrong now.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I do. No, I don't want to win. That's not what we do round here, pal. It's Rusev, I believe, is the correct answer.
No, dear, that's wrong.
It was Dolph's year again.
Dolph
Was it
again.
Dolph
I
again?
knew there was another
It was
30
a
in
history
there,
with the
but-
authority, presumably.
Yeah.
And
I thought I would have gone for trousers Kane myself.
Yeah. Which is funny because Dolph was one of the people that were holding out.
He was.
So he wasn't in
his
there very long.
lifeless body getting
Yeah.
dumped out, along with the future John Moxley, if I'm not mistaken.
And Bray, I think.
Bray.
All your faves.
Or everyone. Yeah. was literally oh, you like these, do you?
Yeah. Roman will save you. We don't want him to.
Yeah, chuck him out, will you, man?
A year after, everyone's like, "Yay, Roman!"
Yeah.
Question 10, so you need to get this right.
Oh, pressure.
I felt bad because people are saying, David Arquette's the reason He's not the reason WCW all went wrong. He's also a very lovely man. I interviewed him a while back.
Give all the money to the Brian Pillman Foundation.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely guy. He liked your shirt as well, if I remember right.
Yes. And I thought I'd write a final question about him because I thought I'd check up on his latest wrestling match. But he didn't wrestle as David Arquette. He wrestled as a character. I need you to tell me which of these characters he wrestled as. Ooh. David Arquette wrestled as which character in his last wrestling match? Was it Tom Wanks?
This went in a direction I did not expect it to go straight away.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Rob Boss?
Okay.
Cook Norris?
Chas Finster's having a bit too much fun there, isn't he?
Or Cunt Eastwood?
I knew he had a big one at 4. I knew he had something else at 4.
And we had the poo one when we had to record around yours.
What was Rabbit and Rick Poo? Was that it? What was go on, what was this dude? What was your mate's the funny name thing?
Oh, I told the story.
Don't tell me the story, just tell me the name.
Wilborn likes this one as well.
Yeah.
Taxi Bastard. Put a swear word in a film.
Taxi Bastard.
Right, well, we need 2 hours of crack because that was what I was supposed to do. And
I'd be like picking Henry Kissinger for a Deadpool.
So your options again.
yes, please.
Tom Wanks.
Oh, good Lord.
That's too good.
Yeah.
Rob Boss.
That's feeling there.
Cook Norris.
Yeah.
Or See You Next Tuesday Eastwood.
I'll go with Cook Norris.
I think it's not. I don't think it's enough. But yeah, it's got nothing to do with me. This is all you. Oh, there. Do you want to use my Ask the Audience?
Oh, yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
I use Nicholas's phone a boner to try and...
Use my phone a boner. Apologies.
Okay, over to you, comment section. David Arquette, according to his cage match, last wrestled a match as which character in his...
I don't like being cast in the check Tiote from 40 yards role here, but that's where I am at. I've got to get this like late
You got to
equaliser.
strike it in.
Tom Wanks.
I like that you don't even have a Sunderland name in hand to do that for you.
For
Just went straight to Newcastle.
Yeah. For a 4-3, I go to Newcastle as well because I've got like Colin Moore close again.
And then the following year again, it's like 2 years in a row against Liverpool.
The forgotten sequel, that isn't it?
That is.
So comments over to you. Tom Wanks, Rob Boss, Cook Norris, or See You Next Tuesday Eastwood.
Tell he's got places to be, can't you?
You know, what are they saying?
It's always on a delay. Barton Key says, still want to see Arquette in a mainstream make good in 2024. Wanted it with Cody and AEW. I agree on that one.
Yeah, nice for that. Could put him in the Hall of Fame if he's not there already.
Yeah.
There's worse people than him in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Adam Zingales is also watching from work, making night vision goggles again.
Nice.
Cool ass job.
Do you think it'll be Adam Cole as the devil, Kyle O'Reilly, Roddy Strong, and the Kingdom as the others? See you later, guys. PS Top Podcast. Yes, I think so.
Anybody could see it, it'd be him. So.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So they're still waiting on a response in the comments.
This is pressure.
Dum, dum.
So we
Cosmic Joe's written Cock Norris.
wasn't it Cosmic Joe that hit came with Terry Sattling? I like Cosmic Joe's shouts. Well, see, but I think the mere fact we've gone to Phone a Boner rules out Cook Norris
You think?
because I feel like Wilborn was headed.
Do you think he was? But I'd
For Button City.
Maybe not though.
Yeah.
He's tricky, old tricky fingers over here.
He is. That's what he will ask us to call him.
Oh.
Oh, you have got a response from one John Harrison.
Fuck off, sorry.
They're all disagreeing.
Splitting the vote here.
There we go.
Uh,
No pressure, everyone. No pressure.
it can't be Tom Wanks
Why not?
because that screams actor.
Scream.
See? Yeah, that screams Wilborn going on Google and being like
Course it does.
actor names. Yeah. Tom Hanks, top one. That rhymes with Wanks. And he goes like that.
Yeah, because it's easy. He's got 5 minutes left to finish the quiz. From Winks. One syllable. Big pop.
This is like
Everyone can't decide. Flop dollars, someone else is written.
Right, I'm going to go then.
Oh, Niehausen, yeah, coming in.
It's happening.
Right. In
Making
which
an
case,
got it?
I'm going to go with Rob Boss, based on the phoner boner. Like, I'm using the audience here. There have been some people in the audience that seem fairly confident that it's Rob Boss. I'm going to go with it.
Well, I can tell you,
Here we go.
if you'd have said Tom Wanks, you'd have heard this noise.
No, dear, that's wrong.
See you next Tuesday, Eastwood.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly.
No, dear, that's wrong.
So you went with Rob Boss over Cook Norris.
It was very much like swapping the box in Deal or No Deal. there.
Indeed.
Yay!
The handicap match.
You got it again.
It was Rob Boss, a.k.a. David Arquette, and an angry little tree versus Whopper Texas Ranger.
That's where you got Cook Norris from. It's all coming together.
There you go.
So the two that you came up with were top and tail of those answers.
Of course they were. Of course they were.
Well, Clint, when you see the L and the I together,
Yeah, put your letters together.
So congratulations to both of you, co-winners of this week's quiz. Let us know how you got on in the comments section or on X at WhatCultureWW. Actually, you can follow all three of us. You can follow Adam Nicholas on X at
It's Adam Nicholas. You can follow Michael Hamflett on X at
Michael Hamflett, and you can follow Adam Wilborn on X at
Adam Wilborn. Thank you once again to everyone who's joined us live on YouTube. Whether you've commented, whether you've donated, or whether you've sat and lurked, it's always a pleasure, and it's very appreciated because we get to do, well, all of this, basically.
I don't want to press the button. I'll break the whole thing.
So thank you so much for that one, and thanks once again to everyone who's donated to the Movember cause that has ended up with, me ending up looking like this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
My thanks to Adam Nicholas. My thanks to Michael Hamflett. Thank you for joining us. This has been WrestleCulture, and we will see you soon. WrestleCulture is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Wrestling.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thanks.